Hi, I'm Vivi. I'm glad you found me. This is going to be a reading for the sign of Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, North Node, or any placement where it applies. This is your Cancer season reading, so happy birthday, Cancer. This one's for you. I did some channeling ahead of pulling the cards, and I got a few messages for you. Namely, I got a song for you, which is Every Rose Has Its Thorn. I actually got this song for you last night, which inspired me to pick this beautiful rose for you today. And there's something in this song for you. What I'm getting with the rose and its thorns is something to do with hard work, completion, sacrifice, and pain, even loss, but ultimately a thing of beauty. So it's possible, Cancer, that perhaps you've been working on something that's been very difficult, but it's reaching a completion and you're soon to reap this beautiful reward. I mean, it's like the means are not the same as the end. I'm having trouble channeling the exact message, but we'll see what comes through in the cards. It's like whatever the outcome is for you is so much bigger than anything else before or since in your life. And even the amount of hard work that you've put in, which is great. Spirit's acknowledging that what you will get out of it is even greater than you can imagine. So that will be for some of you. We'll see if any of this comes out. So we'll start with the cards and see where it goes. I'm a psychic and a channeler, but I also use the tarot traditionally and intuitively to guide your messages. So, Cancer. Sun in Cancer reading. Let's see what Spirit has for you. Cancer. Do you want to start with those three? All right, we'll start with those three. Oh, interesting. I shall share in a moment. Okay, Cancer. The Knight of Pentacles, the King of Cups, and the Eight of Pentacles. There you are. Knight of Pentacles, King of Cups, Eight of Pentacles. What I feel for you here, Cancer, is that you're really toiling away at something, even despite and because of your watery nature. Here you are kind of holding on as this King of Cups, like really holding it down, really holding it together, moving forward in a very solid and stable way here with this Knight of Pentacles. So let's see what we have here. Just give me a moment to look at these cards. I'm noticing in this Knight of Pentacles, he has his hand wrapped around the rope, the lead rope from the horse. And to me, that's kind of like a sense of control. It's having control over a situation and guiding something forward that's outside of you. Something external to you. Whatever these pentacles are for you, whatever it is you're really working on here. You're guiding it forward with fierce determination, I just heard. With this Knight of Cups, I really feel this is you holding yourself steady against the tides. You know, this king is underwater in this deck. And there's currents, there's seaweed, there's fish, there's just like all of this movement of the ocean. But he's holding on with strong determination here. And that's how I feel that you are in this moment, Cancer. So despite or no matter what is going on around you, you're walking tall, hanging tough, I heard. And it's not to say that you aren't in touch, because this king is very much in touch with his own watery nature. However, it's that he's mastered that element of water so greatly that it doesn't affect him. He can choose what of the water he allows to enter his being. And I see that that's what you're doing. You're keeping your head down and you're working on something. What that is will be different for all of you. There's no particular theme to this reading. I just, whatever comes out does for those who, in the soul group, who need to hear it. I just got, this is really random, but maybe one of you is an avocado farmer. Very specific. If that's you, please tell me and send me some avocados, please. What else, Spirit? What does Cancer need to know in their own season here? Oh, this is interesting. So I read reversals when they come out. However, I keep all of the cards in my deck upright. We have, this card has showed itself on the bottom of the deck twice now, which is the Magician in reverse. And what I'm feeling is this is a side message. There's two things. It's coming really quick, so please forgive me. One, oh, see, I'm getting cut off. One is if there is a magician in reverse kind of character around you, I feel that you could be breaking free from their pool. Magician in reverse would be the qualities of, they could even be a master of, I just heard theosophical, but a master of like magic, mystery school, something like that, but like they're using it in a negative way. So it could be a black magician, meaning someone who manipulates will and energy. That's what I mean by that. Or just someone who's manipulative in general. A trickster kind of thing. At the very least, just someone who could present in one way or know how to pull some strings. So it doesn't have to be super negative. It's just this kind of character. If there might be someone on the periphery of your life hanging around, so be aware of that. It's not to scare anyone. If this resonates for you, you'll know. So if it doesn't, just, let it go. The second message is gone. I can't get it. But for that first message, if someone had a pull on you that is this kind of character, I really feel it's coming to an end and you're breaking free and you're staying really strong against any of their power plays. So good on you. It's not easy. Six of Swords, see? You're moving away from that if that was you. That's gorgeous. Six of Swords, wow. The other Magician in reverse message. Give me in just a second. It's completely gone. It came so fast, it totally disappeared, but I am feeling something about this, about harnessing your own power, and it's about learning how to harness your own power here with this Magician in reverse. And it's about not doubting your own ability to make magic happen in your life. It's something like that, okay? We'll just go ahead and put that back in as it's a bit of a side message. But we did receive... Do you want those? Oh, there's the Magician again. So let's see what these three cards are. It might be related. Oh, wow. This could be another separate message. We'll see how it plays in. The Knight of Swords. The Five of Pentacles. Temperance. The Ace of Wands. And the Four of Wands. Wow, so this for me is relating to the Rose message that I channeled in the beginning of this reading. For me, this little storyline here feels like someone working to create something in their life that is just beautiful with this Four of Wands, the Rose. Ace of Wands, the Four of Wands. This is the Rose. This is what you will have. How do you get there? Swift movement away from the Five of Pentacles. So finding a way to cut out, to work through, to mentally untangle the Five of Pentacles energy in your own life. So if this has been a theme for you, Cancer. If the Cancers I'm channeling, this has been a theme for you. Lack, poverty, being an outsider, going without. If that's been themes in your life and they no longer resonate with you, you no longer wish to be tied to them. This could be from this life or past lives, probably both. It feels karmic. It feels like a lesson that had to be worked out for you. And it was not easy to work out. I really get that. But with this Knight of Swords, he's a really effective and fast-moving knight. And so it's kind of that idea that things don't happen overnight. They do, but it's like you have to work really hard to get there. And it feels like you've worked really hard to get here, and then boom, all of a sudden you're out of this Five of Pentacles overnight. Something like that. It's like all of the hard work you've done, building up to like all of a sudden this like shift in consciousness. And I feel that with Temperance here. This balancing of heaven and earth, of will and energy, of emotions. Free will versus manifestation, you know, all of these things that we can balance. Fulfilling your divine blueprint versus deciding what it is that you want. Do you want to keep living out these lessons? You know, if it depends on your belief system, if you think we have a choice or not. I personally do. You know, we always have the choice whether or not to show up for what we're destined for. And it seems that you, Cancer, the Cancers I'm channeling for, are showing up. So I feel you moving out of this. I can feel this sadness with the Five of Pentacles. You know, you see this beautiful kind of ballroom inside. And what's interesting is there's a third figure in this ballroom. And I don't think that traditionally that's depicted. So it's kind of like someone who might have been on the outside who got welcomed in. Who really just frankly walked in. And said, oh, I'm interested in this ballroom dance. Can I watch? And that, you know, it's fine. So it's kind of like choosing not to place yourself on the outside here in the snow. And I really feel the strong emotions of someone, because this has been such a strong theme in your life of feeling on the outside, of not having enough. Wow. Cancer, you are so emotional. I can't take it. And you can be really tough. Okay, I don't want to get that twisted. You can be really tough, but right now I'm feeling the emotional side of things. And for some of you, this is something that's occurred since childhood. And it's a past life thing as well. And you might even have a parent or a sibling or someone close to you that went through this with you. But due to your hard work and your balancing of these energies, you're going to snap out of it. And you doing the work to snap out of it, you know, the point of us building ourselves up is not just for ourselves, although that is extremely important. You get to a certain point and realize you have to build yourself up. But it's also reaching back and pulling up those who have helped us. And that's what this is right now, here for you. I feel that. Whew, okay. I'm just gonna do a little... That one really got me. I feel it was for someone in particular, but it was definitely a collective message as well. Alright, thank you. Alright. So it seems that whatever it is you're working on, whatever it is that you've cleared out, that you've put your head down against going on around you, you're being guided away from it with this Six of Swords. There's an angel in this card pointing the way forward. You've been following your intuition, and you've been getting the guidance and the nudges and moving forward with it, even if it's felt scary in the dark unknown, because this Six of Swords, this is not like the same kind of relief that you get from the standard Six of Swords. This really depicts that feeling of like being in the dark and just trusting there has to be something else for you and not really knowing where you're going to end up. See, this figure is following this little light out in the horizon. The angel is pointing the way, but they're following this tiny little light out in the horizon, and that's it. That's all they have to go on. And that's all you're going on. It's like a wish and a dream. It's not even that. That just kind of came out of my mouth. That must have been a specific phrase for someone. A wing and a prayer, a wish and a dream, something like that. It's like following the guidance in the darkness, no matter what it seems like. And what's interesting is that it kind of could have been a circuitous path, kind of like, not linear is my point, you know, kind of like this. You had some sort of, the guidance led you, this is interesting, the magician coming through here. Your spirit guides, your spirit team, really doing the most. The path led you to some tests along the way. Remember what I said about having the potential to stand up to and meet our divine blueprint, right? That's always a choice. We always have that free will choice. Are we going to do it? Because guess what? It usually requires a lot of work. And not everybody is fit for the test. And that's okay. That's not a judgment. It's just a fact. So if you're here, if you made it, if you stood up to these tests, or you're currently in the process of having to make difficult choices for yourself to break out of this 5 of Pentacles mentality in whatever way, let me tell you, there is enough for you. And what the message is that your spirit guides, your spirit team set up these little tests along the way. So they kind of led you here. And then once you got there, you thought, wow, this is not it. So if you start here, you got here. And then you're there, you're like, okay, well, I'm going to kind of take a little detour and go here. You get there. That's not it either. So you kind of have to reconsider the last stop you had. You try to go back, but you realize, no, that's not it. This is not it for me. Ultimately, you kind of end up where you were, but you're different now. You're completely transformed because you went through all of these different tests and you completed them. You made your decisions, you made your choices, and you stood up to the test. And now, the point at which you are profoundly changed, you're profoundly healed, you're profoundly different. And it's going to be like this. It's going to be like that to get to this rose. Whew, okay. That was a whole bunch. I want to see if, I'm not entirely sure yet if we're going to receive more information about this message or if there's something else that needs to come out for the Cancer's viewing. We'll see. I don't really like to predetermine things here. I sort of go with the flow. These I wasn't ready for. I'll look at them. Wow, gorgeous. 8 of Pentacles, the Fool, and the Knight of Wands. I mean, there you are. This is very similar energy, but instead of being in the Knight of Swords energy of having to like mentally untangle something, Knight of Wands, there's a little more joy there. There's a little more passion. There's a kick. There's being in the flow, I just heard. I've never gotten that phrase with the Knight of Wands, but being in the flow, I mean, he does flow towards what he wants. That is for sure. So the Fool being this brand new energy in which you are. So after arriving at your destination on this circuitous path, there you are. You've become the Fool. Ground zero, number 1. That's it. That's you. And he's holding a white rose. White purity, newness, innocence, a new start. And the rose, of course. Back to the rose. We'll leave these up here as a little guidance, because that's where I feel that you are now, Cancer. And if you're not, if you're just starting this test. You will join us soon. Here. That's what I just heard. So, Cancer. Whew. Blockage. Sun, moon, rising, north node. Any placement that is appropriate. Nine of Swords. So this is for those of you who have not arrived at the Fool yet. Do not despair. Do not despair, which is what you're doing right now, and I 100% understand. Do not despair. There is a lot more newness for you. Nine of Swords. What else for Cancer Spirit? My nose is itching. It itches when I channel. I do apologize in advance. Ace of Cups and the Three of Cups. What did I say? There is a whole lot of newness for you. There's pleasure for you and happiness and joy. And right now, it may be completely difficult to understand or believe, and I get that, but there's so much newness for you. And there's kindred spirits out there for you as well if you're feeling isolated and in distress. These people do exist, and it looks like God, the universe, Great Mother, whatever, is going to bring it to you. Because you followed the inner calling. You followed the light at the end of the tunnel. You followed it. No matter how dark it was when you were in that energy, you had the choice to go back to what you knew. And instead of that, you pushed forward. You pursued further into this probably spiritual path. And I mean, everything in our lives can be on our spiritual path. Working in alignment with the career that is best for us, no matter what it is, that's being on a spiritual path. Receiving relationships that are positive and contribute to our growth, that's being on the spiritual path. Unfortunately, or fortunately, in my opinion, cutting out shit that is not positive for us, that is part of the spiritual path. And you had the choice to go back to what you knew, but instead of doing that, you pushed ahead no matter how dark it was, no matter how painful it was, and you will be rewarded for that. Don't think that you've been forgotten. It's going to come quickly, I do feel. It's like nothing and then a lot. I do feel that. Knight of Cups, Seven of Cups. A lot of different things coming in. And the Knight of Cups being a love energy, a love, like many different kinds of love, like agape friendship, but also romantic love, if that's what you're interested. Spiritual, that cup can be a spiritual love and fulfillment coming towards you, though. A lot of different things. A lot of different things. I do have a side message that for some of you, we did get that. Oh, yeah. We did get that Magician in reverse in conjunction with the Seven of Cups. I just heard not all that glitters is gold. So if you get an offer for a job or a romance or like a business contract, and there's many offers, but this is one of them, and something is off about it, I do feel that there is someone unsavory around. And so one of these offers may not be what it seems. That's another meaning of the Seven of Cups. Like, not everything is as it seems. You know, not all of these choices are good for you. There's like a toxic laurel wreath here and a dragon. I mean, point being is like, watch out for anyone pushing goods that are not what they seem. If the contract is, you know, something is too good to be true, or the contract is a little shady, there's something about it, just make sure to pay attention to your intuition, because I do feel that for some of you. What else, Spirit, for Cancer? Wow, well then. Queen of Pentacles. What I feel is with this Five of Pentacles and Temperance, the Queen of Pentacles, she's learned how to master her hearth and home. And the Queen of Pentacles most certainly is not in the 5 energy, but she's worked to get here. She's worked to get to her throne and to hold this pentacle, and she really cherishes it because of having gone through this lesson. And I do feel you healing your relationship to whatever that 5 is in your life. 5 in the Suit of Pentacles has to do with instability, right? And like lack and not having and chaos. And so if that has to do with a living situation or money or self-worth or your craft not being, you know, seen or received by the world, with that Temperance, I do feel you're bringing through the Queen of Pentacles. So someone who is very solid, stable, and secure in what she has and does. 8 of Wands showing itself here. So rapid movement forward. I'd like to ask about Temperance and 4 of Wands. Whew! Temperance and 4 of Wands. 8 of Swords. What's that about? Something about removing the blinders from what it is that's accessible to you. So if, for example, you do want marriage or a home or stability in the Wand suit, this 4 of Wands, if you want that truly in your soul, this is what I'm feeling with this. In the context of this reading, is someone who like is in denial of something, who isn't being honest with themselves about what it is they want, and because of that, or it's like you want something but you don't think you can have it, so you pretend that you don't want it at all. Have you ever had that? Like, you know, if you can't afford something, or if something's not showing up for you, you just kind of pretend like you don't want it, but you really do want it. That's what this 8 of Swords is telling me right now. But what I'm getting for you is to heal that energy with Temperance, because the 4 of Wands, whatever it is in your life, it's accessible to you, but you have to heal that. You have to get out of denial of whatever it is you want. I do feel for some it's a home. It's like a home and land, and it's something stable that is your own, because perhaps your life and your upbringing or your living situation in the past recent years, it has not been stable, and you want it so badly. You want it so badly, but because you don't think you can have it, you pretend you don't want it. And that's confusing to the universe. You have to be more clear about it. You have to own it, and it will transform. It will transmute with Temperance. 4 of Wands and Ace of Wands. Let's look at that. 4 of Wands and Ace of Wands. Or you want one more on Temperance and the 4 of Wands. 2 of Swords and the Knight of Swords. Yeah, that's just for me confirming that idea of like making that choice and like being honest and speaking your truth to yourself, to the universe, with this Knight of Swords. And it's also, I'm getting a message that being true to yourself, being very honest, will bring it in, will like make it happen very rapidly, in fact, with that Knight of Swords, because this is the fastest knight. And when he wants to, he can really come through. So yeah, it's just confirmation for you to make that decision, and it will come in quite quickly. you know, time is relevant. Time is irrelevant. Let it go. Relative. Now we're having a physics lesson. 4 of Wands and 8. I mean, what is tarot and psychic abilities besides physics in a way, right? Anyway, 4 of Wands and the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands, holy shit. What the fuck is this? It could be passion. It could be like desire and growth and newness. It could be your business. But the hand of God is giving you something. And it's growing into like something you can have and to hold. I just heard that with this card. To have and to hold. You know, that's like a marriage saying, right? But the universe is bringing that to you, to have and to hold something. You know how I got that was, do you see here how this Ace of Wands has this sort of like greenness at the tip of this branch or whatever it is, and kind of like these little diamonds as well. So it could have to do with wealth in some way, or success in some way. But the universe, the hand of God, bringing you this growth and newness. And then I see it here in the garland. It's something that it's something real. It's something tangible. The aces are fantastic, but they're kind of about potential. And you can really harness their energy and make leaps and bounds in your life when they show up for you. But you have to do that. And I feel that the universe is providing this, and combined with your hard work, your grit here, you're creating something for yourself with the help of the universe. Something very solid, something that you can to have and to hold, something you can really put your feet onto, something like that. It's a weird phrase. I can't quite get it. It might make sense in another language. So if it makes sense in your language, please tell me, because I can't hear that. But it's something about something you can put your feet in. And it means about having stability and a long-term abundance kind of thing. Ace of Wands, yeah. Something passionate. What else for Cancer? So how does that tie together with this? Well, I just feel that as we saw, you're working really hard. You're holding steady against external forces that do not need to affect you. And you're keeping one foot in front of the other with this hard work. And it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off. And I'm hearing the song again, every rose has its thorn. So if there is some theme of sacrifice, if there is something here about that, I'm not saying you have to sacrifice to get things. I don't mean that at all. But it could be that you feel there's, you know, because frankly, being on the spiritual path is not always easy, right? I'm getting this story in my head. I remember reading once, probably 15 years ago, it was this like expose about a painter, and she was one of the youngest painters ever to be shown here or there. And I think she ended up at Harvard, but I'm not positive. Anyway, she was this fantastically talented painter. In the interview, the line that I remember, they asked her, like, did it take a lot of work? And she said, of course it took a lot of work. You know, I had to skip a lot of parties. You know, she was like in high school. And that's the energy I'm feeling with sacrifice, is like, whatever you're working on, you might have had to sacrifice some other things. Like, she couldn't go out and have a normal teenage experience because she was working to become this, you know, elite painter. And it's kind of like that. So with that Six of Swords here, that's what I'm feeling. Following this light while you're in the darkness, when you could have chosen other things, but you didn't. You could have chosen to go back from wherever you were, but you didn't. You moved forward despite not knowing where it would get you. And look at this. The world is showing itself for you, Cancer. This is your solar return. This is your new year. So the blessings may be showing up for you. And if they're not now, they may show up in Leo season. I just heard. I don't know why that is, but the blessings are showing up for you. You deserve it. Okay? The Hermit, I think this is just acknowledging your spiritual growth. Also, I'm getting, this is interesting, side message for those who are interested. It fell on the Nine of Swords and the Ace of Cups. If you're in despair about being alone, about never meeting someone, because maybe this spiritual path, and maybe the sacrifices you've had to make, and of course they're not sacrifices because they're part of our spiritual path, right? But like, you know, in like 3D human world, they seem like sacrifices. Maybe those things make you feel very alone. But this is a special message for those who feel very alone on their path, who are in despair and wondering if there's anyone out there for them. I do feel that that is the case, that there's someone else on this path too. And at times they might have felt as lonely as you. They might not be in that energy right now. Actually, in fact, I don't think they are. But they have felt that way. And they're out there for you. And they feel you too. So this is asking you to keep that light on. And retain a little bit of hope. Because there is a true spiritual love for you. See, this Hermit's kind of shining light on this person, giving them hope, and that's a special message for you. All right, Cancer. I want to get you a strange oracle card message, and I want to probably read it to you from the book because these have some activations in them that might be relevant to you at this time. I'll just channel a meaning first and then I will read it. So if you'd like to stick around for that, you can. Also, a lot of times after getting an oracle card, we'll pull a little bit more tarot just to see how it applies to the reading. Otherwise, if it's the perfect little conclusion, we'll close it out. So thank you for being here with me, Cancer, and happy birthday again. I chose this beautiful rose because it reminded me of you. Oh, also we have a bleeding heart because what's more like hardcore Cancer than that, right? Little special flowers for you. We have a message for Cancer. This angel on the Six of Swords is guiding me. It's like telling me to go towards this light. It's really signaling to me from the table. So, follow the light. Follow that little spark, whatever it is. Just follow it. Follow that light. It will get you out of the darkness. There's also more things about light I just noticed. This Five of Pentacles, they're in the dark. These people are illuminated in this warm ballroom. This Eight of Pentacles, he has a hearth fire going and he has a bellows here to keep it going, following the light. And the light can also be fire. It can be passion. We have a double Ace of Wands. So with that message, follow the light. Follow the guidance you've been given and just go towards that thing that's been like driving your soul. That thing that's like keeps popping up for you. Just do it. It will get you to the rose conclusion of your life. Could we have a message, please, for the sign of Cancer? Sun, Moon, Rising, North Node. Okay, that one. Oh my God. Gorgeous. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. All right. I see. First, oh, this is so cute. Obstacles are being removed from your path. Look at these beautiful little elephants and then those funny little UFOs above them. Obstacles are being removed from your path. I'm telling you that. That circuitous path you've been on, those detours along the way, where you're right back where you started, you are profoundly different, you are changed, you are the fool. And now it's time for you to move forward and keep working on whatever it was you were working on to begin with, is what I really get. You are not alone in the universe. That's so kind for someone who needs it. This, oh my God, it's really gorgeous. It's kind of like this cosmic universe view of this angel. And then there's so many other angels behind her. And so for those of you who are feeling like this, you know, you are not alone. There is so much more for you. Look at those angels. They are not alone. They have each other. And once you see it flipped, it's going to reverse. And once you realize you're not alone, you can help others to realize they are not alone. And that's beautiful. We now have move with the flow. We have these waterfalls, a beehive, a little marmot. I don't know what it is. But the sense of being one with all that is, and we said something about being with the flow. Perhaps it was with temperance. I can't remember. Being in the flow of things came up for one of these cards. Being in the flow of things. Right. All right. I'm going to look into the book now, Cancer. If you choose to leave now, go ahead. But if you'd like to stay and hear some of the messages, feel free. Number 48. Wow. Sorry about that. Obstacles are being removed from your path. Vimana vision. Be happy. Unforeseen forces are at work. Stay on the positive timeline for best results. Many levels are involved and they are working in tandem for the most beneficial outcome. Number 9, you are not alone in the universe. The Salute incident. Adapt to things outside your comfort zone and know we live in a diversified multiverse. This will keep fear at bay and you will be ready to interact with what is unfamiliar and evolutionary. Wow. So, really living up to your true potential despite how dark it seems right now. Finally, look at this cutie. Number 26. She has graced us with her presence. Move with the flow of Nova. Be like flowing water, moving smoothly over obstacles, changing form, and adapting to the inconstant weather in your life. Freezing, flowing, pulling, then becoming fluid again. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Cancer. Happy birthday to you all, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care.